Welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. So all aboard, because it's time for liftoff.
10,
Countdown
9,
with me,
8,
amigos.
7, 6,
5, 4.
4.
You know the rest.
3,
Come on.
2, 1, 0.
We got this.
Ignition.
Come on. I need all your oomph.
Liftoff.
Oomph is another way of saying energy. Give it to me.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready
For the ride of your life.
The show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio. All right.
Let's go.
First and foremost, otra forma de decirlo, thank you. Last Friday, we celebrated 20 years on the air. 20 years, our 20th anniversary, and so many people joined us on the show, including you. So thank you for bringing the magic every single day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being amazing students, and thanks for making us last 20 years. And not just last, but to continue to be on the rise in Alfe. So thank you again. We can't thank you enough. If you haven't checked out that show, it was a really special, heartfelt, emotional show. Heartfelt, desde el corazón, from you guys, from us. And remember how I said our goal was to get Richard Vaughn all choked up? You know, to move him, to touch him. No tocarle físicamente. Conmover, you say. Well, guess what, folks? It worked. He was just, oh man, there were a couple moments there where I was like, I'm not going to ask him a question right now because he's regaining his composure. Not that he was sobbing like a baby. But folks, it was awesome. I mean, it was a pleasure to be on the air with Richard, the man. And speaking of Richard, guess who's hosting our upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night?
My name's Richard Vaughn. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
You guessed it. None other than the one and only Richard Vaughn. Join us on Wednesday, December 13th at 8:30 p.m. We're gonna have fun. We'll laugh. We'll play. You'll meet your favorite Vaughn Radio presenters and your fellow students. And there are even prizes for the winning team. So don't miss it. Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Hosted by the one and only Richard Vaughn. Wednesday, December 13th at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amaniel 23. It's going to be tons of fun. That's right, folks. It's going to be tons of fun. Richard Vaughn is hosting, and it's a great way to get in the holiday spirit. December 13th, it's at Roll Madrid, and I think you guys are going to love it. We're all going to be there, I know, because I was with my friends from Vaughn Radio this weekend. We were celebrating a little get-together, you know, not with the whole company, but just with a few people from the radio, and it was great because I got to see Richard Vaughn twice in 2 days. And again, on December 13th, I'll see him there with you guys, right? Are you guys coming? Mark your calendars. I'm serious. It's going to be tons of fun. All right, now let's kick off with our question of the week.
Question of the week.
All right, folks. That's right. Question of the week. Now, remember, we didn't do it last week because we had the live show with Richard Vaughn. And we didn't do it, and we're not doing it this week because Friday's a holiday. So even though we have shows this week, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, live shows, we won't have a show on Friday. So this is for the following Friday. Now, some of you have participated already. And if that's you, great job. So what I want you guys to tell me is your earliest childhood memory. Now, if you guys listened to the recent episode of FYI on the circus, then you'll know what my earliest childhood memory is. But either way, I'm going to share it with you. So let me give you the date. It's not this coming Friday, but either way, get it done. Get it out of the way. So this Friday, no. So this is December 15th. Some of you have already shared it with me. What is your earliest memory? And if you know what that is and you'd like to share it with us, you can send me a 1-minute voice message. Send it to this email address, aalonso@grupovon.com. Oh, and my apologies. We had a lot of, tons of messages from you guys, our listeners, on Friday. And there was no way we could play them all. So I'll tell you what, if you didn't hear your message and you sent it to me, let me know. Say, hey, you can write to me here live on the show. You can contact me via social media. But all you have to do is say, hey, Alberto, I sent you a message and if it was played, don't tell me. I'm not going to play it again. But we, again, because of time constraints, we had to hear from a lot of people. So you put in the time, you put in the effort, you put in the energy. Well, I'd like to play it, but I don't remember. The reason I'm asking you to reach out to me, contactar conmigo, is because I can't remember. I know I know a few of you I heard from, but I didn't decide. I wasn't producing the show that day. It was at Nacho's discretion. I'm not blaming Nacho. Again, the problem is we didn't have enough time. So I don't want to leave those messages out, honestly, and I can play them another day here on the show. You just have to remind me of who you are, and a perfect way to do it would be to send me your message, your question of the week message, and say, oh, and by the way, we didn't hear my 20th anniversary greeting. And then I'll be sure to get it here on the air. Well, I don't want you to go through all that work and all for naught, as we say. Todo por nada. So, all right, amigos, is everybody ready for a little challenge or what? All right. Well, right now we are going to do a challenge. We're ready to travel. We're right here before the holiday season. Man, I got to tell you something. I've got itchy feet. What can I say? Itchy feet. No, not athlete's foot. Not that itchy feet. Itchy feet, to have itchy feet, is an expression that means I feel like traveling. So we're going to travel in today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our pop quiz only on the show with no name. And as always, here's where I give you guys some kind of challenge. Your first challenge of the day is usually the pop quiz. And you can expect anything and everything. Sometimes we look at phrasal verbs, sometimes prepositions, sometimes pronunciation by looking at rhyming words. Like last week when we looked at words that rhyme with focus. Right? Focus. So with that was a tough one. Today, I think it's easy because it's a topic that you all know and love. And as I said before, we are traveling. Now, where are we going? We are going to Inglés para Viajar. You can get it at the Von Tienda. It's available at vontienda.com. It's awesome because aside from just giving you like English stuff, it also gives you all kinds of information about like passports. I mean, it's extremely useful. And it's got, like many of our Vaughn books, it's got audio as well. You got over 2 hours of audio. The book is called Inglés para Viajar. And right now we're going to go on a little journey. And I'm going to have a mission for you guys. So I want you to enjoy the trip, but I also want you to pay attention. This is Inglés para Viajar. It's available at vontienda.com.
Cambios de hora en inglés. Put your time telling to the test. Eduardo has a buffet dinner at the hotel from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Chicago time, or from 3 to 4 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to watch a film in the room from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Chicago time, or from 5 to 7 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to go to bed at 12:30 a.m. Chicago time, or 7:30 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to wake up at 9 a.m. Chicago time, or 4 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to have breakfast in the hotel from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Chicago time, or from 5 to 5:45 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to meet his colleagues from the Chicago team from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Chicago time, or from 6:30 to 8 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to have lunch with his colleagues from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Chicago time, or from 8 to 9 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to explore downtown Chicago from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Chicago time, or from 9 to 12 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to rest at the hotel from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Chicago time, or from 12 to 2 Madrid time. Eduardo is going to have a buffet dinner at the hotel from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Chicago time, or from 2 to 3 Madrid time.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I know when you're traveling, you get all out of whack, desfasado, jet lag, especially when you're traveling in different time zones. And even just traveling in and of itself, you get pretty tired. Just the first thing, and I'm sure many of you know this, but if you don't, you naturally get dehydrated when you go on a plane. Even if you're flying for 40 minutes, your body is going to need to replenish some minerals, some water, and all that jazz. So it's always good to stretch, to drink water, even on short flights. Because you're thinking, okay, obviously, if I cross the Atlantic or if I fly to Australia, it's going to be a major thing, isn't it? But at the same time, even a short flight can take its toll. Pasar factura. All right, amigos. So here's your job. We were looking at time. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to write it out. So I don't want you to put tres punto, how do you say punto y coma? Well, dos puntos, we call it colon. So you got semicolon is punto y coma and colon. So I don't want you to write the numbers. I want you to write it out because I want to know that you know how to use your numbers. All right, amigos? Very important. Numbers are extremely important. Now, I try to avoid them at all costs, but in the end, you got to know the basics. Multiplication, division, telling time. I mean, this is all stuff I'm working on with my daughter right now. All right, so here is, I'm going to give you 3 different translations. All of them have something to do with time. All right, are you ready? Ella sale del trabajo a las 3:15 de la madrugada. Ella sale, that's number 1. I'm going to give you 3. Ella sale del trabajo a las 3:15 de la madrugada. So I guess you could say she's working the graveyard shift. Decimos el turno del cementerio, te lo juro. Bueno, think about it. Who's around? Not too many people. Okay, maybe in a hospital. All right, number 2. Ellos trabajan de 12 de mediodía hasta las 12 de la noche. Again, I don't want you to write 12. I want you to write 12 o como se escriba. So, ellos trabajan de 12 de mediodía hasta las 12 de medianoche, de la noche, ¿no? All right? And your third one, ellos empiezan la clase a las 5 menos cuarto. Ellos empiezan la clase a las 5 menos cuarto. All right, there you go, folks. Now, the good thing, some of them, you got a couple ways to say them. So hopefully we'll see a lot of different ones, and we'll also look at the context, which one's more common, you know, all the little nuances that we look at here on the show with no name. All right, now, I see we got a lot of students here in our chat room. What's up, show with no namers? Welcome aboard. We are ready to rock. There's David in the house. What's up, David? Glad to have you with us. Front row center. And David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. Good morning to you, good sir. There's a man with a name I love. It's Alberto. What's up, Alberto? Ready to rock. And it's early where he's tuning in from. So you are an early bird, Alberto. And the early bird gets the worm. All right, let's see who else is on board. Chris Valrol. What's up, Chris? And she says, morning, awesome show with no namers. We're still having a party. I mean, at home. Today's my sister Alma's birthday. Oh, wow. And she says, I wish I could be there on the 13th. Well, happy birthday, Alma. So, I imagine, speaking of parties, Chris, is your sister the life of the party? Oye, también se puede decir the life and soul of the party, pero yo digo más the life of the party. Los dos valen, ¿eh? Parecido. So, Alma is the life of the party. Happy birthday, Alma. And we'll play you the birthday song a little bit later on. You got a great sister as well. And brother-in-law. Y cuñado. Sure. Great people. I know them. There's Salvador. What's up, Salvador? Welcome aboard. Salvador says, good morning, Double A and classmates. Good morning to you, good buddy. Always a pleasure to read your name. Alberto says, Nacho, let's get the show of the world. Hang on. 1 second. I know what you're referring to, but it's let's get this show on the road. And you know what that means? Vamos a arrancar. Let's get this show on the road. Excellent expression there. But it's not let's get the show of the world. Pero seguro que eso es lo que has oído. It's let's get this show on the road. En marcha, en la carretera. On the road. There's Marisol. Marisol says, good morning there. Hello, Marisol. I hope you had a nice weekend. And let's start the week with energy. Marisol, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. And I am spent. Gastado, desgastado, cansado. Why? Cantajuego. Like, I had a lot of plans this weekend. It was fun, but I didn't stop all weekend. The good thing is I didn't go crazy, but I'm not used to going out a couple nights in a row. I need my rest now. Oh, no. So, yeah, man, I even told my wife, I said, what's our plan Sunday morning? And she goes, Sunday morning, we don't have a plan. I'm like, oh, my God. I heard the angels sing. Because, yeah, we had a good plan. Well, as I said, we were at Cantajuego. We had a lot of different kids stuff to do. And anybody who has kids knows the decibel level is sometimes higher than an AC/DC concert. So bear with me today. Paciencia conmigo. But yeah, definitely. We've got the energy. I just need a little extra from you guys today. Let's see who else is in the house. There's Laura. Lovely Laura. What's up, Laura? She says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Let's bring some magic to our morning. I second the motion. Wait, hold on. Let me do that again. Let's bring some magic to our morning. Happy birthday to Alma. Chris, one of my nieces is called Alma too. I love that name. It's a beautiful name. All right, I see we've got some people participating in the pop quiz. We're going to see how well you guys know telling time. But I know what you're thinking. Alberto, this is basic. Okay, so that means you should be able to do it perfectly. It should be a piece of cake. Pan comido. Child's play, right? Should be easy. We shouldn't see any mistakes, and we should see more people than just Laura participating. Now, we've got a lot of people in the house, but the only one who's participated so far in our pop quiz is Laura. So great job, Laura. Oh, wait, hang on. Lupe as well. Great job, ladies. And Lupe also says, good morning, guys. Ready to rock. Wait, there. Sometimes a new comment comes in and it moves the comments. Good morning, guys, says Lupe. Ready to rock. Happy birthday to Alma. All right, yeah. Born to Iron Man, also in the house. What's up, Born to Iron Man? So many people ready to participate. But right now, we've got to go to a quick commercial break, my amigos. I know. I can't believe it myself. When we come back, we're going to take a look at, we'll go over the basics of telling time so you don't make mistakes. I'll give you some guidelines. You say pautas? We'll give you some guidelines on telling time. And as always, one of the good things about having many, many years of experience is I can anticipate your mistakes. I know what the mistakes are before they're made. In fact, many of you know, I often push my students into their mistakes just to see if they fall. And you know what I love? There's nothing I love more when I, throw a curveball at a student. To throw a curveball es despistarles. No, tomarles por sorpresa. Try and catch them off guard, and they rise to the challenge. So, we'll see if you rise to the challenge, my amigos. In the second, third, and fourth parts of today's show with no name. Folks, we'll be right back with tons more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio, where we love learning English while we learn about other things. And don't forget to listen to all our programs here on Vaughn Radio. You can start your day with Richard Vaughn Live, The Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams, Fitz and his master class, No Excuses. And after this show, you've got a treat, una sorpresa every day. And that's Ximena Holiday with Test Your English. You can learn along with Nacho. And Nacho, I've got to say, both Nacho and Ximena raise the bar. Suben el listón. Oh, yeah. It was hard for me to catch Nacho off guard. Ya hemos visto esta expresión dos veces hoy. It was really tough to catch Nacho off guard. Almost impossible. But somehow, Ximena knows how to do it. All right, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name. It's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? 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 This today is one of the funniest things ever. I gotta be honest, this is when I was editing this and putting together today's show, I was literally snotting myself. Me salían mocos. Snot. I was snotting myself, laughing. So, as always, you're gonna hear this 4 times, amigos. You'll have 4 chances to write down every word you hear. And initially, I just want you to give me your take on what you heard. And if you recognize the accent or whatever, any little clues or details, we'll take them. This is the section where you are detectives, amigos. And we're going to have a little laugh today, I think. All right. Well, here is your Say What soundbite for the first time. Is everybody ready? Jot this down.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
All right. Wow, sounds a bit extreme, doesn't it? All right, let me give you a second. We'll let that sink in. Dejemos que lo asimiléis un segundo. And then we are going to give it to you again. Is everybody ready? All right, this is the Say What soundbite for the second time.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. All right, folks, more information about Vaughntown or any of our amazing programs, go to our website. It's grupovon.com. Also, follow us on social media, and this way you know about what's going on in the Vaughn world. We've also got a phone number, 911-385831, my amigos. All right, let's take a look at today's pop quiz and see what you guys came up with. All right, the first person to participate is Laura. I have a hunch it's perfect. Let's see. Laura says, number one, she leaves work at 15 past 3 in the morning. All right. Now, as an American, I would say, in my natural way, she leaves work or she gets off. Esto es muy nativo. She gets off work at 3:15 a.m. So she gets off work at 3:15 a.m. All right? You know why? The reason, and the quarter past, I get it. 15 past, 18 past, I get it. But it's a lot easier to say 3:18, right? Instead of 18 past 3, 3:18, 3:22. When you want to be precise, it just makes your life easier. So I don't know why, but they always teach you quarter past, quarter to. So quarter past or quarter to is very common. I'm not saying people don't use it, but me, I never do, for example. And that's fine. I've never had to use it. What time is it? Oh, it's 12:45. So she leaves work. She gets off work. It's a very common one. At 15 past 3 in the morning. Remember it. En la mañana's AM as well. It's a good shortcut. It's a good way to remember it. Mañana in Spanish, AM, por la mañana. Y madrugada, M, mañana, madrugada. Perfect. So toda la mañana y toda la madrugada is AM. All right, let's see the second one. They work from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. I could swear I said it the other way around, though. The good thing is we can check it. All right, because in my head I said, trabaja de las 12 de mediodía hasta las 12 de la noche. Correct? I think that's what I said. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. As I said, I'm a little bit out of it today. So that would be the opposite then, Laura. I work from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., right? 12 p.m. is 12 noon. So eso es otro truco. AM es mañana. Para nosotros empieza a las 12 el afternoon, right? De hecho, por eso es noon es 12. So afternoon, literalmente después de las 12. So I would flip them there, unless I said them backwards, but I think I said it that way. Al menos en mi cabeza le vi entrando a las 12. So 12 noon, que sería 12 p.m. Y el 12 de la medianoche es 12 a.m. Piensa, la madrugada empieza. It's a good way. M es madrugada there. The a.m. versus the... Oh, no, bueno, los dos tienen M. Oops. So they work from... Now you could say 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. or they work from noon to midnight. Toma. That's the easiest, fastest. They work from noon to midnight. All right, let's see. And the last one. They start their class at 4:45 p.m. Great job over there. Let's see. Lupe, she's off from work. Excellent. She gets off or she's off from work at 15 past 3 in the morning. Again, it's not wrong, but it's not natural. Because when we say past, we usually say quarter. So I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it. I think we go always in the morning, a.m., right? It's just easier. So, see, I told you this is basic stuff, and it's not wrong because it is 15 past 3 in the morning, but it doesn't sound like a way it's much more common to say 3:15 a.m. or 3:15 a.m., right? But, all right, let's see. Let's see the next one. They work from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Nope. Did I say it wrong? I can check it, guys. Not right now. But let me be clear. 12 p.m., this show is happening at 12 p.m. every day. Not at 12 a.m. At 12 a.m., I'm sound asleep. That's midnight. Okay? No way. Don't. Somebody asked me to do the show at 12 midnight. I can't. It's not my circadian rhythm is not on that clock. No funciona con mi cuerpo ese horario. All right, let's see. Chris Valro says she leaves work at 3:15 a.m. and she gives us the other one, 3:15. Perfect. Those are the most common. 3:15 a.m., la que diría yo, or 3:15. They work from 12 noon to 12 at night. Perfect, it's right, but 12, you can say 12 noon to 12 midnight, or noon to midnight, seen at 12. And also you can say they work from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., no? De mediodía a la medianoche. All right, and the last one, they start class at 4:45, perfect, or 4:45 p.m. No sé si especifique. I don't know if I specified there. All right, anybody else over here want to participate? I got a lot of people participating. All right, where am I in the comments? All right, we're going to go into today's Say What soundbite. I played it twice, so you guys should at least have an opinion about it, right? You should at least, be able to give me a sentence or two based on what you heard. But great job, by the way, in telling time. Just before we move on, I just want to make sure you guys get that stuff because there are certain mistakes between AM and PM that I see all the time, And because you guys say las 15 de la tarde. We say 3 p.m., right? So just remember this. From 11, we say good afternoon because it's literally afternoon. At 12 o'clock, noon, you say good afternoon. Not good morning, not like here. De hecho, I told you. The first time it happened to me, I'll never forget it. I was on a bus in Móstoles, and it was like 1:30. And the guy goes, buenos dias. I'm like, what the time does this guy get up? So it's a cultural thing, too. When does your afternoon? Just remember, ours starts at noon. That's why we eat earlier as well. And AM, just remember, AM, you're just going to get in trouble in the AM. No, those are the las horas, the wee hours. Once it's midnight, AM, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 11:59 a.m., the show with no name is happening. So that's what I always say. In the show with no name, we go from morning to afternoon because the last part of the show, from 12 noon to 12:30, that's the afternoon. But the first three parts of the show take place in the morning, in the Gidi morning and afternoon, not the Spanish definition. All right, let's see. The Say What soundbite here. Laura says, I heard a non-native Englishman telling someone else that no matter what they do, they will always end up in jail. Yep, that's it. That's it in a nutshell, Laura. Wonderful. Yeah. A non-native Englishman. So this is the only, non-native, I got you, because I thought Englishman de Inglaterra. Okay. He's not a native English speaker. Gotcha. And he's telling someone, no matter what they do, hagan lo que hagan, no matter what they do, they will always end up, great phrasal verb, we use it all the time, they'll always end up in jail. But did you guys notice that he says Yale? Yale is a very nice university. I don't know if it's nice. It's reputable. I've never been. It's where like presidents go and stuff. It's an Ivy League school. So jail? You don't want to go to jail. Yale? Why not? If you can afford it. Or if you can get a scholarship, you can go to Yale. But don't go to jail. All right, anybody else? Anybody else have something to say about our Say What soundbite before we move on? Because if not, you guys know we got to get on to our spelling bee because time is of the essence. So let's go spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, amigos. It is your spelling bee. And even though it's a holiday week and some people might even have the whole week off, we are going to be here. Well, except, what is it? Wednesday and Friday, there are no shows. All right. But the rest of the week, we are here rocking and rolling. So make sure you stay tuned to Vaughn Radio because we know sometimes when you have some holiday, you got a couple days off. Well, that's the best time to catch up on some Vaughn Radio or check out one of our books like the one we looked at today. I know myself, anytime I have itchy feet, I watch a documentary or I read something about traveling. And at least in my mind, I go to that amazing place, wherever it may be. So that's a beautiful thing about radio, about podcasts. I take you to different places, especially on FYI. When we go to Times Square or the Eiffel Tower or New Orleans or Amsterdam coming up after the break, well, we really try and take you there because, well, the sights, the sounds, obviously you can't see anything on a podcast, but if you close your eyes and if you've got a nice imagination, I think you'll see something. So it's also in your hands. You've got to have that vivid imagination. And I know you guys do. Let's see. Chris wants to participate in our Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard a man whose accent I can't pinpoint. Great word. But definitely, he doesn't sound like a native. He says that you're going to end up in hock by hook or by crook, no matter what you do. In hock. I know that expression, but in hock, let's see how they use it here. In hock. Because when I think if something is in hock, let's check it out here. Let's see what they say. In hoc, encarcelado, endeudado. Oh, okay, that's what it is. I haven't heard, Chris, you're teaching me things here. I know it as embargado, but it's also encarcelado. I didn't know it. Mira, no lo he usado yo así, but you probably know it if you're a Bon Jovi fan. Johnny's got his six-string in hock. Union's been on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough. So tough. All right. Well, Chris, wonderful word there and excellent explanation. All right. Is everybody ready with our spelling bee? This is round one. You're going to get some places, unos sitios, so they must be capitalized. They're proper nouns. And I'm going to give you a year with each one. So I assume that that's the year the place opened, maybe. All right, well, it's in your hand right now, and here we go. The first one is FRAUNCES space TAVERN space 1762. The next one is P period J period space CLARKE apostrophe S space 1884. The third one is KEENS space STEAKHOUSE space 1885. The fourth one is PETER space LUGER space 1887. The fifth one is KATZ apostrophe S space DELICATESSEN space 1888. And the last one is RAO apostrophe S space 1896. And here's a little clue.
It's commonly called the center of the universe, and rightfully so. Nestled ever so neatly, smack dab in the center of New York City. Just a stone's throw from extraordinary eateries, world-class entertainment, swanky shopping, high-class hotels, studios, and sets, and a bustling business center to boot.
Next stop, 42nd Street, Times Square. Please stand clear of the closing doors.
All aboard! We're taking a trip to Times Square on today's FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
English.
All right, guys, that's right. So I just played the Times Square episode, well, the intro to the Times Square episode of FYI. So maybe it has something to do with New York, as they say it. You know how New York, well, I don't talk like, when I'm talk, actually I do. My accent has become a lot more like universal. Also, I'm a it's different. I'm not your typical, hey, what are you doing? Get out of here. Of course. But when I was hanging out with my friends there, what do you think I sounded like? But now I've toned down the New York thing, even though people still point it out when I say the word coffee. They're like, did you just say coffee? I'm like, yeah, coffee. And they say, it's coffee. I'm like, what do you mean coffee? You say coffee in New York, you'll get shot. Well, you never know. You never know there. We say coffee. In fact, I'll give it to you. There's a famous Saturday Night Live sketch, and it was a recurring sketch with Mike Myers, the guy who plays Austin Powers. Look up Mike Myers' Linda. I forget her last name. He plays a woman, and she has the typical New York accent. She goes, I'm feeling a little verklempt. Let's have a talk. And look up coffee talk. So he plays a woman named Linda with this very New York accent. And it's very funny. It was a recurring one. He goes, hello, this is Linda, whatever. I forget her last name. Thanks for joining us on Coffee Talk. That's a very New York accent. If you want to hear it, I mean, he's exaggerating it, but not really. He's just a parrot, and he's just doing what he heard. All right, let's see. We've got somebody taking a stab at it here. Let's see how he did. The first one, and by the way, it's Born to Iron Man. Let's see how he did. Born to Iron Man, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. So far, so good. All right, the next one is correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is correct. Oh, my goodness. And the fifth one is incorrect. Ouch. One letter, dude. One letter. I'll hire you. I'll tell you what. I'll hire you to paint my house, but I'm not going to hire you to work on my airplane. If I don't have an airplane, and my house was recently painted. But you get what I'm saying. I want the job done quick. I'm going to hire you. I got to get it done. But if I want to get there safe, I don't know. That one letter could be the difference between missing the runway and not. Uh-oh. Excellent effort either way. But that challenge is still open. But you know what? I just realized we've got to go to a quick commercial break. Jeez Louise. I can't believe we went through half of the show already. The hell? I mean, I know I'm a little bit tired. But wow. Wow, guys, thank you. Thank you for making it so much fun. Thank you for your participation. And I know I can tell you this because I was with them this weekend. We all of us, from Kyle Miller to Richard Vaughn to Jules Linares to Chris and Ruby, Rob, we are so thankful, so grateful for you. So thanks, guys. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around.
Nice job, amigos, and thanks for learning and laughing with us here every day on the show with no name. Newsflash. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program to bring you this breaking news. Attention all show with no namers. As of January 2024, the show with no name live stream will be available exclusively to my patrons. If you'd like to continue to watch the show daily and participate in real time, join us at patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. And what is Patreon, you may ask? Well, as many of you know, I've been teaching for over 20 years. I've taught all kinds of people, from famous folks to young kids. And with a background in acting, I love communication. I have a radio show that's been on the air for 15 years and a very successful podcast called FYI. I've also written 5 books and have appeared on numerous TV and radio programs. But the thing I'm most proud of is this curious community on Patreon that we are creating every day together. And I really think you should join us. For as little as €3 a month, you can have access to Show with No Name live stream daily. Every week you can get a bonus episode of FYI. Also PDFs so you can follow the podcast. And the moment you sign up, you'll have access to an archive of over 1,000 posts. You'll also get early access to all my content. And a new feature, a chat, so you can have direct access to me and your fellow students. And most of all, you'll be a part of a curious community of people just like you, English explorers. Consider joining us on Patreon for as little as €3 a month, and you'll get access to so many English resources. And I highly recommend you sign up for a yearly membership. This way you make a commitment and you'll also save 10%. And don't take my word for it. Just ask some of my interstellar students.
I've already improved my pronunciation, and as a consequence, I've gained a lot of confidence in my speaking. Thanks to our weekly review class and our monthly masterclass, where, by the way, to top it off, we have a lot of fun. In a nutshell, if you are willing to better your English, much more, in a fun way, you won't regret it if you join us.
Alberto is a passionate teacher, an excellent communicator, and what I think is key, he's able to put himself in the student's shoes. He's always willing to help. You'll have access to a wide range of topics every week, bonus content, vocabulary receipts, weekly review classes, monthly master classes, and so on. I think it's much more than just learning English. So go to Patreon, have a look around, and give it a try.
It has helped me keep my English in check and just, improve my language skills in the most fun way, because his podcast is really entertaining and fun, and so are the classes that we have afterwards to revise and go over the vocabulary and just discuss interesting topics. So if you're considering becoming a Patreon, don't hesitate, because that's a great way to improve your English.
We now return you back to your regularly scheduled program.
So what are you waiting for? Learn and laugh with us in our curious community over on patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. See you there. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, part 3. Can't believe it. Thanks for joining us today and every day. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you, amigos, as we learn English and laugh every day here on the show with no name and on all our other amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. All you have to do is download our free app, and you can learn English on the go, wherever you are. You can learn some English with all your favorite teachers. Today also we looked at, in our pop quiz, telling time, which was in Inglés para viajar. Oh yeah, it's really important. Think about that. Think if you made that mistake and on your plane ticket it says 12 a.m., 12 p.m., y te vas a la medianoche, you missed your flight. If it says 12 p.m., it's noon. Really important stuff. Nobody wants to miss their flight. So you can get that in Inglés para viajar. It's written by Victor Sanabria, a native New Yorker. Victor and I were neighbors in New York, on the same street. That's not normal. The same block. And then we started talking at Vaughn. And I'm like, oh, where in New York? And he's like, oh, Chelsea. And I'm like, oh, where in Chelsea? And I was like, cousin? Is that you? It's a small world. You say el mundo es un pañuelo. We say it's a small world after all. Folks, it's time for homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with homophones.
That's right, amigos. As always, this is where we take a look at words that may or may not sound the same. You tell me. The first word is más asqueroso que. So it's more disgusting. There's a synonym for it. Nasty. Okay? It's nastier. It's more disgusting. Well, this is another way to say that. Más asqueroso. Más ugh, right? That would be that word in a sound. Más ugh, right? Yuck. Yuck. That's the sound you think of when something is asqueroso. But this is más asqueroso, what we're looking for. All right? You might be familiar with it. You might not. The second word I want you to give me is somebody who sells food. So it's tendero, verdulero, aquí Puerto Rico, bodeguero, México, abarrotero, Argentina, almacenero. All right. So it's a place and also a person who sells, or which sells, if it's the place, food generally, right?
comestibles, as you call them. And you'll know this word if you listen to the supermarkets episode of FYI.
Attention shoppers. There's a special on sliced bread and chopped liver. 2 for 1. Today only. This offer is exclusively for Club Card members. Happy shopping and have a nice day.
You can find anything you may need in the aisles of these often unpopular places where we purchase our basic necessities. Nevertheless, we need to go to grocery stores in order to keep both our bellies and our fridges full. Oops!
Clean up on aisle 4.
We'll suss out supermarkets on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. That's right, folks. A very useful episode of FYI on supermarkets. I think you'll find it quite interesting as well as useful. I guess that's the idea behind FYI, right? That you get interested in the topic, but you also learn all kinds of cool idiomatic expressions and sayings and things like that. And speaking of sayings, it's time for the Say What soundbite for the third time. All right, here we go, amigos.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. That was the third listen. You're going to hear that one more time. Also, let's take a look at our homophones over here. The first person to participate is Daniela. What's up, Daniela? Great to have you with us on the show today. And the first one is correct, Daniela. And the second one is also correct, Daniela. You're missing a period there. I mean, I don't know. Were you going to go on, or are you done? Are you done there? That's it? Okay. I don't know. Hey, maybe it's a poetic thing. And she says they sound the same. All right. Born to Iron Man. He says they sound alike. I love that. Two different people participating, and you both say it a different way. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. So the question is, are they right? Do these two words sound the same in English? I don't know. Well, let's say them. That's the best way to sort this out once and for all, de una vez por todas. The first word is gross. Let's take out the comparative or the superlative. Let's go right to the adjective. Gross, que también significa bruto, right? What is your gross salary, right? Your net, eso es fácil, neto, right? And gross. So, mi salario bruto es asqueroso. My gross salary is gross. Good way to remember it if it helps, right? Gross. As I said, gross as asqueroso is the same as disgusting. Oh man, that's nasty. That's gross. That's disgusting. All three of those are used, at least in my neck of the woods. So, gross. Well, do you think this is grosser than that? What do you think is grosser? Poop or vomit, for example? I don't know. I'm just using two things that are gross there, right? What's grosser? I don't know. Let's ask our neighborhood grocer. What? I just said the same word. Well, that's because they sound exactly the same. That's right. So I love it. Abacería, tienda de comestibles, abastecedor. So when I think of a grocer's, I mean, because we say a grocery store, a supermarket. Grocers, you say in England, the greengrocer or the grocer is el verdulero. Right? That's the vegetable, the fruit stand, the vegetable. That they call them the grocer. But we call anybody who works at the grocery store, who works in those areas, a grocer. Anybody who's handling the food. And hopefully their hands aren't any grosser than mine. Great job, everybody. Also, Marisol. Oh, no. Wait a second. So Laura says they sound the same. Marisol says they don't sound the same. Marisol, you might want to delete your comment there. They do sound the same. The grocer said that meat was grosser than the other meat. Excellent job to everybody who got it.
And speaking of getting it, I see we've got a couple people here who got the spelling bee on the first go. We still have another round left in our spelling bee, but let's see who else took a stab at it. Lupe is the first one to participate, and let's see how you did, Lupe. Lupe, the first one is correct. The second one is correct. The fourth one, I jumped one. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is correct. And ladies and gentlemen, the sixth one is also correct. Lupe, nice job. Also, Chris and Marisol taking a stab at it as well. Excellent job, my amigos. All right, let me give it to you one more time for those of you who couldn't get it on the first go. The good thing here is this is the speed that I expect you to get it. So if you consider yourself intermediate, you should be able to write this down. The first iconic place or joint, iba a decir, garito, in New York City is FRAUNCES space TAVERN, and the year 1762. The second one is P period, J period, space, CLARKE apostrophe S, and the year there is 1884. The third one is KEENS space STEAKHOUSE, and that one is 1885. If you notice, they're all from the 1800s, except the first one. The next one is PETER space LUGER, and that one's 1887. The next one you've all been to, if you saw When Harry Met Sally, the famous orgasm scene with Meg Ryan, that took place at number 5. KATZ apostrophe S space DELICATESS, and the year's 1888. And the last one is RAO apostrophe S, and the year is 1896. All right, there you go, guys. We are taking a trip to some of the oldest joints, garitos, in New York City. The first one is France's Tavern. It opened in 1762. Now, I know for Spain, you're like, it's nothing. Yeah, this is the United States, guys. Okay. Excuse me. France's Tavern in 1762. And today, the reason I chose these joints was today in 1783, ahora sí, at the France's Tavern in New York City, a very well-known U.S. general who would later become president, a guy named G.W., the initials G.W., George Washington, bid farewell. To bid farewell is decir adios to his officers. So it's a very historic place. If you like history, then France's Tavern is the place. It's over 240 years old. It was also George Washington's headquarters during the American Revolution. And it's not cheap. You can imagine these places have been around because they're awesome, right? Not just the history, but, George Washington being able to go any place he wants, where would he go? A place that's got good food, good grub, como decimos, and that's France's Tavern. 1762 they opened, and it's a famous spot. The second one in our spelling bee is PJ Clark's, and that's 1884. It's been around for over 150 years. Frank Sinatra used to frequent it. He had his own table, Table 20. Buddy Holly proposed to his wife there. Okay. He only knew her for a few hours, too. But you know what? When they asked him, well, Buddy Holly, how did you make such a rash decision? He goes, every day it's a getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Okay, I'm sorry. And also, Nat King Cole said that their burgers were unforgettable. That's what they are. Unforgettable. Well, he actually said the Cadillac of burgers, but I thought it would be funnier to say he thought the burgers at PJ Clark's were amazing. The Cadillac of burgers. All right, the third one on our list is Keen's Steakhouse. Now, I've been to the first two. I haven't been to Keen's Steakhouse. And Keen's Steakhouse, first of all, when you look at these places, I mean, the woodwork, the attention to detail, they don't look like a McDonald's or like a Kentucky Fried, there's class. They exude class, right? Exumen, I think. They exude class. And this one opened again over 150 years ago. It's frequented by publishers, playwrights, producers, and it's great because it's near the theater district. So it would be a great place to meet before or after a show. What better place to go have a drink and discuss the art that you just saw? So Keen's Steakhouse, and that's in 1885. And the word steakhouse, you say asador, right? Un sitio de carnes, no? A steakhouse, we call it. Now, the next one, I would say, aside from being one of the oldest places in New York, it's also one of the most famous of all of these. They have their own steak sauce. I mean, they've opened chains because the place is amazing. It's Peter Luger. Peter Luger. The original one is in Brooklyn, just so you know. So if you see Peter Luger Manhattan, it might be good. But if you want to go to the original, the one from 1887, well, that is located in Brooklyn. I think there's even one in Long Island as well. But Peter Luger is synonymous with amazing meat, okay? And it's just a few steps away from the East River, as I said, on the Brooklyn side. Peter Luger, gotta check it out if you're there, if you can get a reservation. The next one is Katz's Deli, or as I said, Katz's Delicatessen, which is 1888. I used to hang out on this street. My friend lived right down the street from Katz's. So I used to go there for breakfast a lot. And you want to know something? This is the funny part. This is how New York is, guys. And just to give you an idea of what it's like there. I was, I'm there having lunch or a coffee with my friends because, well, they've got good sandwiches or good coffee, whatever. But then I find out, many years later when I'm living in Madrid that the place is like famous. I'm like, Katz's? It's famous? I'm like, good old Katz's? Katz's de toda la vida. And yeah. And then, of course, you also have to put everything into perspective here. I've never seen When Harry Met Sally. Okay. I've never seen it. But there's a famous scene where she said, the woman says, I'll have what she's having. Yo tomaré lo que ella está tomando. And they're famous for their Yiddish food. Yiddish is like a Jewish kind of cuisine. And they've got corned beef. They've got matzo ball soup. You got to try matzo ball soup. It's pretty delicious. You can get some really authentic Yiddish food in New York City. And last but not least, Raus. Raus, which is a place that opened in 1896. And you couldn't have a list of the oldest places in New York City without having an Italian place on the list, right? Of course. I mean, how many Italian Americans, how many people came across, including my family? And at one time we were not a majority, but there were a lot of us. And the Irish came as well. And this is in East Harlem. It's Southern Italian cuisine. Now, it is one of the most expensive restaurants in the area. And it's got 10 tables, only 10 tables. And it's nearly impossible to get a reservation. So forget about Rouse. No, I don't want to say forget about it. But at the same time, a lot of these places, let's put it this way. If you know you're going to be going to New York like 6 months in advance, 8 months, like even 2 months, I would recommend any of these places. As I said, I haven't been to all of them, but the ones that I've been to are not only places that have amazing, delectable food, but they're also places that are full of history. It reminds me of the place I'm thinking about here, Café Gijón in Madrid. Well, Madrid is full of, you just go down Calle Cuchilleros, and our friend Hemingway was in every bar there, right? He frequented all of those bars. So Madrid, not just Madrid, all of Spain as well. Now, again, your history goes back a little bit further, but still, you know, if Nat King Cole says it's the Cadillac of all burgers, doesn't that pique your interest a little bit? If Peter Luger's is reserved, it's booked for 3 months straight, you can't get a reservation, you can't get a table for two for 3-4 months. I wonder why. And it's not, that's the thing. In New York, we're used to hype. I'll explain this. I know, Laura, you probably know this. We're used to biggest, best, greatest. This chef is coming from France, and his mother's she's making it herself back there with the butter and the beurre blanc sauce. Great, lovely. But if it's not good, if it's not a good, bang for your buck, if it's not excellent, it's not going to last in New York. And I guess that's why all of these places have stood the test of time. Han perdurado. So la expresión is to stand the test of time. Yo lo usé en pasado. No, en presente perfecto. They have stood the test of time. All right, amigos. Speaking of time, we're going to run out of time. So let's get into today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble, only on the Show with No Name. And as always, this is a section where we take a look at a word twice. But, I forgot to say it. Sorry. Did I say double trouble? I meant double trouble. Oh, yeah, guys. Hey, we're wrapping up the year here, and I want to make sure you guys can rise to whatever challenge I may throw your way. So you have to use the same word twice. 2 sets of the same words, not the same word 4 times. Okay? So, el partido político ha decidido hacer una fiesta porque van a derrocar a sus rivales. Don't get cocky. Not a good idea. Hasta que as we say, it's not over till the fat lady sings. No se acabó hasta que canta la gorda. Yeah, I know. These days you can't say that expression. You might insult someone. It's from opera. So, el Partido Popular ha decidido hacer una fiesta porque van a derrocar a sus rivales. Okay, I learned the word derrocar. I didn't know that word. So you have to use the same word twice. That's a double trouble coming at you guys. I got to say, though, you've been doing a wonderful job, all of you. Excellent job so far today. Yeah, really. Very impressive, guys. Not just in the homophones or in the spelling bee, but in all the sections, we've got tons of participation. So that's wonderful news, amigos. Laura says, I've been to PJ Clark's and Katz's, but not the others. Well, I've got to say this. If you're a meat lover and you like a little history, you've got to go to Peter Luger's. But Katz's is well, you know what, Laura? I think you went, because this is the interesting thing. Some of them are really well known to New Yorkers, and some of them are really well known to tourists. You know what I mean? So if I say Katz's, you'll be like, oh, I don't know that place. But if I'm like, the place in When Harry Met Sally, oh, yeah, like me, the opposite of me. I'm like, oh, Katz's, great food. Did you know that table over there, that's where Meg Ryan did that? And I'm like, Meg Ryan, what movie was that? Again, in perspective, I was a 18-year-old boy, I wasn't going to see You've Got Mail or Sleepless in Seattle or any movie that was starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. So great, Laura. PJ Clark's, great beer too, draft beer, and then Katz's Deli. And the other ones, well, Laura, you're lucky because your kids are out in New York, to go back to our New York accent over there. Folks, we are going to our final commercial break right now. We have got so much to do in the fourth and final part of today's show. We've got to take a look at our double trouble. We've also got to look at our Say What soundbite for the fourth time. What else? We've got jokes, famous birthdays, name that lyric, and so much more. And then, when I'm done, you are in for a real special treat with my great friend, Ximena Holiday, and Test Your English. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, amigos. This is the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And this is part 4. Just a quick reminder, folks. We've got a lot of special deals going on at our website, grupovaughn.com. Also, if you're not following us on social media, you are missing out. Te lo estás perdiendo. Tons of content. Plus, you'll find out about special events, special deals. Sometimes they're limited time offers. Either way, we still have some deals going on for the holidays. Go to grupovaughn.com and check it out. If you're looking for materials, you can go to vaughntienda.com. As you know, I personally have 5 books at the Vaughn Tienda. Doesn't matter what you're looking for. Phrasal verbs, Maybe you want to work on your prepositions. Maybe you need a little business English brush up. Whatever it may be, we've got you covered. Go to vaughntienda.com right now and get your Christmas shopping done before it's too late. We all know how that works. You got a lot of time until you don't. It's true. You're like, oh, worst thing you can say ever. I got plenty of time. Really? Think so? It happens here on the show. And the show is a wacky microcosm of life, isn't it? A little bit. Like a wacky English, energetic, interactive microcosm of life, amigos. All right, we needed to look at our double trouble. Also, guys, a nice round of applause. Laura nailed our Say What soundbite. Well, let me give you that first. I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite now for the fourth time, but Laura, sit back, relax. You nailed it. Here we go, amigos.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the fourth listen. We are going to hear that again, but that's when we reveal who it is, where it's from, and all that jazz. And then I recommend you guys watch what it's from. I'm telling you, it's just a great show. Es una serie. So it's not from a movie. I'll give you that clue, but that part's not important. All right, let's see now. We've got to take a look at our double trouble and see what we've got. Let's see. Daniela says, the party decided to throw a party because they decided to throw off their rival. Well, I got to say something. That's a great job over there. Throw off, desconcertar. Yeah, well, it's the same kind of idea there. Wow, Daniela. Wonderful. So the party, partido político, the party decided to throw a party. So ya tenemos party dos veces. And a common mistake is people say, we're going to make a party. No. Remember the Rod Stewart song? We're having a party. Or we're throwing a party. I like throw because it's better. It sounds more, whoa, this is going to be fun, you know? So the party decided to throw a party because they decided to throw off their rival. All right, to throw off again, to throw them off course, derroca, same kind of idea. They're not doing well now, right? All right, let's see, Laura. The popular party, well, I don't know which party. I just said party. Now, if you want to say political party, but it's not necessary. With party, if you know the context, you don't need to say, oh, my party, but you can say political party, but popular party, we don't have a popular party in the United States. So that would be a very Spanish thing. So the popular party has decided to throw a party because they're going to overthrow their opponents. Yes. To overthrow. Look at that. And I know you guys know the word throw. Throw, through, thrown. Well, I love to throw parties, but they overthrew the government. ¿Ves? So se conjuga igual que el throw. Lo mismo que si ves la palabra foresee. See es sí. Tengo que pensar every day. See, saw, seen. Porque no pienso así. See, saw, seen, right? Son las tres conjugaciones, right? That's great. We need to know all of those, but not just in our heads like that. You need to know the way they sound, right? All right, so let's take a look then. We've got another person who has figured out our Say What sound by Chris Valrol. Laura and Chris. Wonderful. So great. Chris says the party decided to throw a party because they're going to overthrow their rivals. So great. Rivals, opponents. These are all acceptable ones. Great. Let's see. Laura says, I'll tell my daughter about Peter Luger. Oh, yeah, that's a classic over there. Again, not the one in Long Island, the one in Brooklyn. That's the original. But usually, especially now, the holidays, oh, man, it's going to be a nut house. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Let's see. Daniela says, no idea what that word you've just learned means. Spanish is not my mother tongue, so I kind of played it by ear. Well, you did a great job, Daniela. And wow, are you telling me you're learning English and Spanish on this show? That's awesome. Those are two really useful languages. Believe me, I know. So great job, Daniela. Born to Iron Man. The party has decided to throw a party because they're going to overthrow their rivals. Great job, everybody. Chris as well. Let's see. Juan Carlos says, hi, Alberto. Hello, Juan Carlos. How's it going? He goes, your show is the shit. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Ahora, en español suena como me está insultando. No, está diciendo es la bomba. Your show is the shit. Love from Bala Negra. Black Bullet. I'm just kidding. By the way, Juan Carlos, I have spent many, many, many summers on the beaches of Bala Negra. I mean, right next to the greenhouses, Los Invernaderos, eating the greatest watermelon I've ever had in my life. Okay? And I just remember we would have better barbecues and picnics on the beach than you can have at any restaurant. We had sardines. They roasted. I mean, it was insane. And very different because, as you guys know, many of you know, my family's from Almeria, from the capital by that area, which is, much more, I don't know, there are many more people there. And this is a lot more untouched, or at least it was when I was there. But I have amazing memories of eating, drinking, splashing, and being merry in Bala Negra. So shout out to Juan Carlos and all our Almerienses who tune in. All right, well, folks, it's time to move on because it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking only on the show with no name. And of course, this is where we're going to learn English with a little humor, because let's be honest, humor makes everything taste a little bit better. All right, well, let's see here. Oh, yeah, you guys didn't hear about this. Oh, yeah. I normally don't like to get political here on the show, as you guys know, but, this is some important news that just came out. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make Congress more efficient, okay? They're trying to make Congress more efficient. So what they're deciding to do, this is in my country, just so nobody gets offended. They're trying to make Congress more efficient, although I think all Congresses can be made more efficient. And they want to replace all the congressmen and congresswomen, the Congress people, with horses. I think it's a great idea, by the way. We might get a lot more done. But there's just one problem. Every vote would end in nays. But hey, at least the housing market would be stable. No. Nobody got it there. So they're talking about a plan to make the Congress, the U.S. Congress, more efficient. So they want to replace everybody, all the Congress people, with horses. But there's just one problem. Every vote would end in nays. But hey, at least the housing market would be stable. 3 jokes in there. 3 jokes in there. By the way, triple joke. Boom, 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 boom. So, sure, every vote would end in nays. In Congress, they vote yay or nay. So all in favor say yay, all in favor nay, even though in normal life we say yes or no. Now, nay is also what a horse does. Nay. So to nay, you get it now? So every vote would end in nays. in negativos, in but hey es, pero oye, pero también es heno o paja. But hey, H-A-Y en vez de H-E-Y. But hey, at least the housing market, el mercado inmobiliario, would be stable. Stable is estable, but stable is also where a horse lives. No, that was a triple joke, guys. They would replace the Congress people with horses, and sure, the problem would be that every vote would end in nay. But hey, the housing market would be stable. Estable, estábulo. Oh, man. All right. I got another one for you over here. Let's see if you get this one. The Republicans and Democrats came together in Congress, and they want to allow medicinal marijuana for the purpose of relieving arthritis pains. Okay? So, again, let me give you the setup here. Republicans and Democrats, that's both parties. We have, unfortunately, just two parties in the States, and who knows if we really do. But they came together finally. They finally agreed on something in Congress, and this was to allow medicinal marijuana, not recreational, medicinal marijuana for the purpose of relieving arthritis pain. So there is joint support for joint support. No. There's joint support for joints for joint support. No. We looked at the word before. We said joints are garitos. But in this case, none of them mean garito. So let's look at the double meaning, triple meaning here. So they came together. They're going to approve medical marijuana for the purpose of relieving arthritis pain. Arthritis pain is pain in your joints, articulaciones, correct? Okay. Now, joints are also, we said joints, garitos. Joint is jail. We were talking about, he was in the joint for smoking a joint behind the joint. That could be a sentence. Oh, but he said it was because he had pain in his joints. That could be a real sentence. Really. They're all real there. Okay. So there's joint support. Joint is conjunto. There's joint support, hay apoyo conjunto, for joints, para porros, for joint support, para apoyar a las articulaciones. Whoa. All right. I chose a Spanish example here, okay? Where does Pablo Iglesias usually sit on the plane? Okay. I'm not saying anything about what party. I don't care. I'm not interested. I don't trust any of them. And anyway, he's not even in politics now, so get over it. Where does Pablo Iglesias sit on the plane? Always by the left wing. No? Well, he doesn't sit by the right wing. He avoids the right wing. He sits by the left wing. In English, I know you say, he's left, he's right. Él es de izquierdas, él es de derechas. But in English, we say left wing versus right wing, right? Decimos con la palabra ala, pues the wing of a plane. So where does Pablo Iglesias usually sit on the plane? By the left wing? La izquierda. All right. I got one more for you since you're enjoying these jokes so much. All right. If a politician were to hide out in your home, I wrote this one, by the way. Esta es mi chiste. Si no te gusta, dispárame. You can shoot me here. Okay. So, if a politician were to hide out in your home, esconderse en tu casa, where would be the most normal place for them to hide out? What would be the appropriate place for a politician to hide out in your home? Easy. in the cabinet. No. Well, the word gabinete is parecido, ¿no? Gabinete ministral, consejo de ministros, the cabinet. But also your kitchen cabinets. Armarios de la cocina. All right. Hey, that was mine, guys. I said, let me give you one there for good luck there at the end. So if a politician were likely to hide out in your home, where would that person hide out? In the cabinets. All right, folks, time to move on because it's time for famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And happy birthday, Alma.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
All right. We love you, Alma. We love you. We hope you are the life and soul of the party. We know your sister is. We know Chris is. So if it runs in the family, well, invite me to the party. I don't want to miss it because I don't want to miss a thing. Let's take a look at our other birthday boys and girls who are lucky enough to share a birthday with Alma. And our first one was born in 1964, an American actress. She was in a couple different soap operas and sitcoms, but she really got the attention of the world for My Cousin Vinny. Oh, there's one. You want to hear a New York kind of Brooklyn accent? My Cousin Vinny with Joe Pesci and her. And she got the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She was also nominated for The Wrestler, which she was in 2008. But she's been in Chaplin, The Paper, What Women Want, Toma Trabalenguas, What Women Want, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, Crazy Stupid Love, and she plays May Parker in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from Captain America Civil War to Spider-Man No Way Home in 2021. So not anymore. She was playing that character. And yeah, that's number one. Number two, this guy basically was one of the creative forces of the Beach Boys. The thing about this guy was he was the only Beach Boy who surfed. Surfing US, inside, outside. If everybody had a surfboard. Well, just my brother, not the rest of us. This guy. All right, that is, and we love the Beach Boys at this home. Oh, man, we play the record, I would say, once a week. And last but not least, this guy was born in 1966, an American actor and musician. I recognized him for the first time, and many people, on Saturday Night Live. He was a cast member from 2002 to 2013. He's been on so many different shows. And one of my favorite appearances, and one of his most famous appearances, it became like a cult. The show's amazing and the scene is amazing, is in the show Parks and Recreation. Again, I've recommended this show to you guys a lot of times. Like, it's awesome. And this scene that we're looking at today is from Parks. Se llama la serie Parks and Recreation, pero lo queremos tanto que le llamamos Parks and Rec. Y está Chris Pratt. ¿Queréis ver dónde empezó Chris Pratt? Ahí. Yeah, he was awesome. In the first couple episodes, I think he was just so good that they just kept writing more and more scenes, because he wasn't an important character. He was the boyfriend who she was going to. And he got really popular on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. Give it up for Chris Valrol. Number 1, Alma. Number 2, Marissa Tomei. And number 3, Dennis Wilson. And number 4, Fred Armisen. And Fred Armisen is today's Say What soundbite. This is in Parks and Rec. And supposedly, these guys from Venezuela come, they're dressed as generals, and they go to like a community meeting in this little town in the States. And people are just out of hand. And he comes on and he does to camera. He's like, oh, we would never put up with this in my town. So he's playing a Venezuelan dictator kind of guy. And he's saying that the punishment for everything in Venezuela is jail. Tenéis que ver la escena. Pon jail, Parks and Rec. And it's just funny because he does it so straight-faced, como que no se inmuta nada. And check it out. He goes, you undercook fish. Si no cocinas pescado bien, believe it or not, jail. Créetelo, pero a la cárcel. You overcook chicken, also jail. Si te pasas cocinando pollo, pues también. Undercook, overcook. He goes, you make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up. Believe it or not, Yale. He says, Yale. Right away, enseguida. O sea, and he goes, we have the best patients in the world because of jail. You have to see the scene and you should watch the show. Here's birthday boy Fred Armisen.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And folks, wow. Impressive job today by each and every one of you. Serious. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder if they're going to be on the ball again today. And once again, you are on the ball, each and every one of you. I'm serious. I said it at the beginning of the show. I said it on our celebration the other day. We are lucky to have such amazing students. I know you guys are always saying thank you to us, but right back at you. Toma, te lo devuelvo. Thank you for making Vaughan such a popular place to learn English. Whether you're one of our students or you have some of our materials or you just tune in to our radio, thank you. Thank you for trusting us, or we can also say for entrusting us. So both for trusting us with your English or entrusting us with your English. See, we're always playing with words here. All right, here's our song today. It's God Only Knows. Dios solo sabe. I totally didn't sing it the way the song goes. It's the Beach Boys. And if you don't listen to the Beach Boys, you're missing out. 2 reasons. They're one of the most amazing groups musically ever. And I think their lyrics are pretty easy to follow along in general. They have some songs that are a little bit harder, but in general, you can follow along with the Beach Boys songs and they put you in a good mood. So I hope they put you in a good mood like they always do for me. Thank you so much to all of you. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Woohoo! Let's celebrate. God only knows. That's that. See? I knew I had it in me. Thank you, amigos.
I may not always love you, but